Use It or Lose It, where I help you keep food out of the landfill and get every penny out of your food dollar. Well, first I want to say thank you and welcome to my new subscribers. I was recently interviewed on my local radio station, and some folks were listening, and they actually have joined the Use It or Lose It YouTube channel. So thank you. Anyway, so today I have something a little different, something you may not have thought about before. So I'm sure we all know cucumber salad, the classic. Cucumbers, onion, vinegar, oil, ta-da. But I bought a head of celery, and of course, they're really long, and they don't fit in the vegetable drawer. So my habit is to just chop off the top couple of inches and, chop up that bunch of celery for whatever it is I'm making, tuna salad or whatever, and throwing the leaves into my scrap bag that I keep for when I make chicken stock. Because, of course, what do you need when you're making chicken stock? You need celery, celery leaves, onions, carrots, that kind of stuff. Well, I asked the universe, I said, hey, is there another use for celery leaves? And indeed, there is. You can add it, aside from adding it to soups, stews, and so forth, stir fries, you can add it to salads and give it that little bit of herbaceous, celery-y kind of flavor. So I took all of those leaves, put them in my little reusable Ziploc bag, and so today we're going to try out cucumber salad with celery leaves, because I think that's going to give it a really interesting note. So, and I also had green onions that had been in there a while, so the outer husks had gone dry, so it's like, yeah, time to use that up and move it along. And, they do get a little bit stronger over time, so now they're kind of equivalent to a regular onion. You can certainly use a regular onion if you're making this yourself. Whatever floats your boat. No judgment here. So I have 2 mini cucumbers that I sliced into half rounds. This is about 5 green onions. Like I said, there were a lot of parts that I had to rip off in order to make this usable. So, but you can sort of see the proportions. And as per usual, I'm just kind of winging it. So we're going to dump those into our bowl. My chopped up celery leaves, if you want the official term, this is sliced into a chiffonade, which just means little slices. You kind of roll it up and cut it, whatever. So I'm dumping that in, and that's looks to be about a half a cup. Okay, and of course, salt. This can take quite a bit of salt. So a couple of shots of that. We're going to add in our olive oil, and you know how I hate to measure, so again, just kind of doing a 6 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have determined that when I count to 6, that equals an ounce, because I've tested it. And then you can also use lime juice or lemon juice, but I'm using the classic white vinegar. I buy it by the gallon, so I just transfer it into a small bottle to make it easier to handle. And we're going to do a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next thing I do is I sniff it, because it's like if it smells too vinegary, I can add more oil, or if it doesn't smell vinegary enough, add more vinegar. Needs more vinegar. Another splash. So usually with this kind of a dressing, especially for this kind of like cucumber salad, you're going to want to do a 1-to-1. Normally a vinaigrette dressing is 3 or 2 to 1, 3 parts or 2 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. But because you want this to be vinegary, it's a 1-to-1. And so now we just have to stir it up. I'm really interested to see what this tastes like. It's like adding celery to your cucumber salad. So I now have it just the right levels of vinegar, oil, onion, celery leaves, etc. And that's it. So here's what it looks like. And this is especially timely because we're moving into the summer season, and this is a lovely light salad or side for when you're doing barbecue or you don't want to heat up the kitchen. And that's all there is to it. You just take a few minutes to slice up your cucumbers and your onions and your celery leaves. But I will say this, if you want to put celery leaves, fresh, into a salad of any sort, do not put them in the freezer because they turn brown and gross. It's fine for soup, not so much for salad. So now you know there's things you can do with those celery leaves besides throwing them out and have them going in the landfill. So that's it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.